ladies, I need you to understand as quickly as possible that men do not care about impressing you more than they care about impressing other men. If you don't know where this screenshot is from, it's from this season's Ultimatum, which is a show where people who want to get married bring their partners who don't want to get married on a show, and then they all end up swapping partners to figure out if they really don't want to be married to anybody or if there's possibly somebody out there that they would rather be married to. I understand. The premise is extremely insane. But reality TV is my special interest. I've just learned so much important information at the end of the day from these reality TV shows. The reason I bring this up, one really common thing I've noticed on all of these reality television series is that the men, it becomes more about the other men for them at some point than it ever was about women. In this process, they really expose themselves and they really expose how the patriarchy has effed up their thinking, even in this what should be obvious mating process where they have women that are wanting to mate with them. They still turn around somehow and make it about another man. And a lot of men do this in real life too, but just again, putting people in these types of situations really presses on your most primal sort of instincts, and that's what we're observing in these cases. So these two men ended up in a little tiff. This is Scotty and this is JR. Scotty was definitely spreading rumors about JR, saying that he was on the show to get a hall pass and like he just wanted to sleep around, which is true, but JR confronted him about it and Scotty just about shit his pants. Then he went and confronted JR's ex, whom he was like doing the trial marriage with, and was like trying to gaslight her about how she actually told him all this stuff and whatever. And she was like, I actually blocked him at the beginning of the show. I haven't spoken with him. This man, knowing that he was the one spreading these rumors, was doing his best on television to make it seem like it was actually a woman, as she's bitter about her ex going on the show. Now, at the same time, this guy right here, his name is Nick. Well, his partner chose JR as her trial marriage, and this man absolutely lost his shit. Sandy, his current partner, won't marry him because she says he doesn't even treat her well. And this man is on the show trying to convince her to marry him, even though he's not like doing the things that she's asking for. He's given her an ultimatum, and then when she takes the ultimatum and chooses a partner, he absolutely loses his shit, stalks them to their apartment that they're staying at, whatever, tries to confront them, like calls her hundreds of times a day. And then best part of all though, he gets the same tattoo as this man has and then tries to play it off like it was a total accident. It was not an accident. They actually showed him getting a stencil of that tattoo, which means you would have looked at it and approved it. It was like on his arm. So he went ahead and approved this tattoo, and then at the end, for the cameras, tried to play it off like, oh my God, I got the wrong one on accident. It's the same one as JR. And just kept trying to play it off like he didn't mean to do it, when he very obviously did mean to do it because it was driving him crazy that his woman is sleeping in his bed. And he kept crediting it to him being threatened by JR. He made that very obvious. Like he was like, JR is obviously a huge threat to me. If she's into that, then like she's not going to be into me, whatever. And he is so threatened by this man. But at the end of the day, these men, they want to play house with each other, not with you. That's what you need to understand. That's why they spend so much time at work. That's why they spend so much time golfing, so much time involved in like workplace politics, and they know all the gossip better than all the women. It's because they want to play house with other men. They do not care about your approval as a woman. They were trained from a very early, young age not to. Phrases like, are you a girl or something? Are you a pussy? Are you a bitch? All of that stuff makes you very threatened by masculinity that you think is somehow like better than yours or bigger than yours. Like it turns your life into a dick measuring contest, even with women. So this guy, Scotty, who ended up with JR's partner, Zaina, They, for like one of their first dates, went to shoot basketball, and I really wish I could include this video without getting a copyright strike. I wish y'all could see it, but he was so mad because she was really good at basketball and she was just effortlessly like making like these free throws across the court, and he could not get it to touch the basket most times, and he got visibly upset. The same thing happened when they went to a bar and played darts and she beat him in darts. He was like, you can't just be good at everything, but he like meant it. Like he got so mad that he couldn't be like the macho man, that he couldn't make fun of her for being worse at something than him. And he felt entitled to that because he thought he was just automatically going to be better than her. Or he probably thought she was going to let him think that he was better than her. But I'm sure he would have preferred that to what she really did, which was just beat him at everything and wipe the floor with him. And he was so upset. So the only thing that really threatens these men is going after their masculinity via either being better at them at things that only men consider masculine, right? Like basketball, darts, other sports, or by making more money than him, right? That's another traditionally like masculine thing that men will absolutely go nuts over. In fact, there was a study done, and the men, even when they said that they didn't care about like how much money a woman makes, they physically had an aversion to being in the same room as a woman who made more money than them. So they just physically cannot tolerate being quote unquote out masculine. Or you can get at his masculinity just by pitting him against another man, just juxtaposing him with another man. And so as a woman, a lot of times when you're trying to get a man to like care about something that he doesn't care about already, you need to understand that in order for him to care about it, it has to tie back to the patriarchy or another man or the idea of masculinity. Those are going to be the three things that most men care the most about. And that's where you're going to be real disappointed in most of your relationships with men. This goes not just for romantic relationships, as far as friendships, as far as anything like that. You're going to be over and over again disappointed because you're going to build this great connection, this great sort of camaraderie with a man until you realize that y'all only hang out behind closed doors, or like he only talks to you when his other buddies aren't in the office, or when they're around, he suddenly acts a little different towards you. Yeah, that's because when you leave, they all make jokes about how he either has fucked you or wants to fuck you. This is how they assert their dominance among other men. And so this is why men seem so different when you're just with them behind closed doors. This is why I actually kind of appreciate the ultimatum for what it is, because it puts your man in this position where he really exposes whose opinion it is that he cares about. And I think the only man that even close to like pass the test was Caleb. He definitely seemed the least phased with the opinion of other men. I actually think the other men kind of consider him cool because of that, so he gets a pass. And as long as you uphold bro code, like it's all good. Like you don't actually have to care about their opinion. Like they'll still think you're cool, but they do expect you to uphold bro code. If you don't do that, then you're at public enemy number one. Then you're a bitch, you're a girl. You get relegated to the category of people whose opinions they don't care about, and then they ice you out, freeze out your voice, your opinion. That's when a lot of men start to actually feel that insecurity and they start to succumb to the patriarchy a lot more. At that point, it gets personal because nobody likes to be gaslit and stonewalled and put down like that and just made to feel invisible. So a lot of men will then turn to toxic masculinity in order to like reclaim their rightful standing among other men. And it turns all back into a dick measuring contest. Most men can be pushed to this point by other men, mind you. It will never be a woman. So yeah, always remember that 90% of y'all's boyfriends would absolutely betray you behind closed doors. They'll treat you really well in person. They'll even in front of their homeboys, they'll treat you well because they all know they're actually sending your nudes into the group chat behind your back. They know the kind of things that they get to say about you behind closed doors, about how he gives it to you and about how you like it and about how that you guys have apparently done all this stuff that they've only ever seen in porns before. This is how men use women to gain social standing among other men. This is why we warn against low effort relationships, because a lot of times if your boyfriend's really not going all out for you, it's not worth it. It's just games they play with other men. The games that they're playing with you are not even important to them. That's why they can sit there and watch you screaming, crying, throwing up over the fact that they're cheating or disrespecting you or like all this stuff, and they're like, yeah, oh well, can you stop crying? Like, I don't know what you want me to do. I don't know what you want me to say. And they'll get way more emotional over some drunk man in a bar, you know, who like insults them or insults you, and then your man has to like prove his manhood. Like, they'll get way more worked up about stuff like that than proving themselves to you in a relationship, which is where they quote unquote want to be every day. They want to be with you. They want to do this thing with you. They want to marry you and all this stuff, but they wouldn't have your back unless it threatened their masculinity somehow. Please learn to watch out for signs of that. If a man seems really eager to always impress his buddies, if he talks about his buddies as if they walk on water, he's probably more interested in them in every way. I'm going to just say that, in every way that you can think of, than he ever will be in you. Do without what you will. Stay safe out there. Godspeed.